Happy Friday, everyone.
Hi.
Hello.
How you guys doing? Bob's going to be here with Late Jay. Is that what I hear?
Let's call him right now on the air.
Oh yeah, live interview with Bob.
Whoa!
I like this.
Don't
This is
dox his
dangerous.
phone number.
This is
Don't
the
dox
ambush.
his phone number.
Tell him it's that guy Hansen. You know,
Hansen
from Catch a Predator. You know that guy.
Oh,
That
yes.
guy. See if he freaks out.
What is Bob doing on a Friday night?
He's probably stuck in traffic.
Yes.
Bob,
Uh-oh.
Hey Bob,
you're on the live stream right now over the phone. Where are you?
don't
Holy
swear.
crap, I've been.
Oh,
Jeez, I've been talking with Cormac. He borrowed my my microphone and just been jamming with him,
So you don't have your microphone?
putting up Christmas decorations. I don't need a microphone for the live stream.
All right, what's happening? Are you joining us or what?
Bob's 90%
Yeah,
visual.
sure. I need a minute though.
All right, get your
love
pants
it.
on. All right, we'll see you in a minute.
I love it.
Bob's all
Chris
visual.
Hansen. That's what. Yeah.
Chris.
So he's just farting around. Is that what he's doing?
Yeah,
Pretty
baby.
much. Who's hanging
Yeah.
out?
You know. Christmas decorations.
What was Christmas coming at all?
So here's
All
an
those-
early Christmas present. Alex Jones is filing for bankruptcy.
Expected.
owes-
Boom.
Yeah, because basically
owes
$1.5
billions.
billion worth of judgments against him.
So
But
if he files for
that's what I
bankruptcy,
need to see. I hate when these people get convicted of fraud and they get a slap on the wrist. They make millions and millions of dollars by defrauding people, and they get fined
Yeah,
$20,000.
but now it goes to a bankruptcy court, and the court decides kind of what happens.
You know,
There.
if you lose a big case like that, and you don't have enough money to pay it off outright, then basically the judge appoints whatever officers of the court that take everything you own and give it to the people you owe money to.
yeah.
The bankruptcy court basically allows you to keep like one home and a car or whatever, like you're
Yeah,
basically
it
the
will-
bare minimum to live.
Yeah, it'll allow him
But they
enough to live.
they
That's it.
completely dissect your financial life and take everything of value.
We'll
mean,
see.
You know,
We'll
it's
see,
not
right?
going to be this is not a picnic for him. You know,
No,
by any stretch.
no, I'm
or,
sure it's
you know,
dramatic.
you know,
Maybe Kanye
yeah,
will bail him out.
it's not as dramatic as having to pay $1.5 billion, which you didn't have anyways.
Yeah.
But you're right. You know, there's a little bit of disappointment in that, but there's also some satisfaction in knowing that going forward, also anything that he were to earn would be
Mhm.
garnished to,
Yeah.
to probably 95%.
Yeah.
So if he chooses to continue to work, he'd wind up working simply to pay the families,
You know,
which is to me is a form of justice.
Yeah.
yeah, I've learned to not, I've learned to not have expectations that things are going to go the way that a skeptic mind wants it to go. Like when he is penniless, I'll believe it.
Yeah.
You
He
know, when
needs to be penniless.
yeah, I mean, he's
Yeah.
still doing InfoWars, like Ian said, he
Right.
had Kanye on. And I saw the clip of Kanye, talking about Nazis, right? Oh my God, I can't. This
Yeah.
reality that
You
we
see-
live in. So there was a moment when Alex Jones completely was the reasonable person in the room, and it blew my mind.
That's right.
Mhm.
When
That's how crazy Kanye is. Oh
well,
my
when you think about
God.
it, if you're someone like Alex Jones, you do want to find the most insane people possible, so you can seem like the reasonable
Mhm.
one. That is a proven strategy in a lot of different ways.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
mean,
that's why I hang out with you guys.
it seems very rational that he would, if he made that decision deliberately. I'm not completely convinced that that's why he had him on the show. I mean, Kanye's making the rounds. I think Kanye is pushing that button, right? He's the one that put himself in front of Trump and asked Trump to be his running mate, which is insanity.
He's no, he's pretty. Look, I'm not a doctor. He's obviously extremely ill.
Oh yeah, nothing. No, there's no question.
There's a because he's a human being. There is a part of me that feels horrible for him. That he suffers with this mental affliction that he cannot get away from. So I still, for the human part of that he is, and unfortunately the rest of it is kind of, a lot of people using him in a certain way to also kind of
You
get
think that premise?
and make it a circus. Not that he's not responsible for the things he says or anything like that. I'm not giving him a pass or anything. But it's I don't know. It's like a caged sideshow freak sort of thing, and to me, it's just all just so off-putting on lots of different levels. Lots of different levels.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it really is frustrating to see some fantastically horrible people be so phenomenally rich.
Mhm.
Like Kanye West is a horrible human being. That guy is bad news. And think about what we don't know about him. I mean, I know it's impossible to speak of because we don't know, but I mean, if the stuff that's trickling through the media and the little bit that we're seeing of him, this guy must be a train wreck on a day-to-day basis. I can only imagine being in his orbit and having to deal with that level of insanity. Bob, there's a cat behind you.
Really?
Wonder where he came from.
His mother.
Watch out.
But one of my favorite things that happened in the last 2 weeks was definitely Kanye asking Trump to be his running mate, and Trump having a little orange hissy fit,
Little hissy fit. Yeah.
basically saying like, I'll get more votes than you. Like, I could just visualize it in my head.
And why he even, the fact that he even talks to the guy is in its own way, its own insanity. Why would the hell would Trump give him a second out of the day? I don't.
It makes
get
perfect
it.
sense. It makes perfect sense.
Does
Trump was supposed to meet him in his office, and he pulled him out into Gen Pop so everybody could see that he's hanging out with Kanye.
Of course. I mean, gosh,
he loves that. He totally loves that. Like, the guy is incapable of not thinking of himself first. You know what I mean?
That's when your overinflated ego absolutely gets the best of you in moments like that. And you know
But
what? Too
Trump,
bad.
Trump has one criterion for people that he likes, and that is that they support him. That's it.
Sure.
If you're pro Trump, then he likes you. That's it.
Yeah, but I can't believe it's. I guess I can believe it. You should be able to sniff out the BS. At a certain point, at a certain level, especially with someone like that. This is not some obscure figure.
He doesn't care.
No, I get that.
Trump doesn't.
Right.
Trump
That's what I mean.
lives
His
in
ego
BS.
gets the better of him in
There is no truth or reality. There's only BS with Trump. right?
Yeah.
That's it.
Yep.
It's just whatever you can assert. That's
Oh
what that's
gosh, I mean,
reality.
you know, so you know, if she's got no one to blame but himself, that's for damn sure.
Yeah.
Blame himself. So any publicity hits he's going to take is all on him. What's that, Bob? What's that? A drill?
What's that
Is
for,
that a
Bob?
Christmas
Hold on.
drill? What was
That's
that?
Bob's butt plug.
Awfully small.
Jay, please.
Like-
God.
You guys remember this one?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I got all of them.
So wait, Bob. Obviously, there's backstories to these. Please, you have to tell the audience.
My mom moved earlier this year, and she had the Christmas decorations, insane amount of Christmas stuff that I took over the mantle of decorating her house the past 5 or 6 years. So I was intimately acquainted with all of her decorations. So she purged. I mean, she couldn't keep all of this stuff, so she took the Christmas stuff that
She
she
wanted to.
And but she took the Christmas stuff she wanted, and we all took some of her Christmas stuff. So this is some of my Christmas stuff of hers.
Evan, do you know how there's a circuit in your brain that when you see something that you like, but it may not be necessary or practical, there's a circuit that goes, yeah, but do I really need this? Our mother doesn't have that circuit.
No.
It doesn't exist
okay.
in her brain.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So she had enough Christmas decorations for like 3 houses.
Some
She
people
would cycle through them, every year. But
and how old are some of these? Like they go back to like when you were kids.
Older than us.
Right. Yeah. So many generations worth of product. Wow, you're really well.
some of it's nice stuff, but it's like
I love like
what the hell?
Christmas thing. Yeah. No, I get it, and yeah, it's true. It's you just hope it doesn't get to a point for people where it becomes sort of this hoarder.
No, she's not a hoarder. It's just that she's a shopper.
Situation. Yeah, I'm a shopper.
Yeah.
Is she able to throw things out? I mean, or is that a difficult process? Is that
not really?
It's difficult. That's Santa Claus. She made about 40 years ago.
Yeah.
She cleaned it up. She fired it. She painted it. And so we all are intimately aware of that Santa Claus and other ones that she made while we were growing up. Jay's got one, I know. Okay, well, I got to show you this. This is off the hook.
Got to keep your head in frame there, Bob.
Whatever.
I'll talk to your shoulder. Whatever.
A nutcracker.
That's the Nutcracker.
Oh my God, you got that, Bob?
Wow.
I got it.
Bob, you have the handle in the back. Can you make its mouth move?
It's huge. It doesn't move.
It's taller than you.
Taller than me.
Evan, how much familiarity do you have with Christmas culture?
Christmas culture. Well, the
Americanized. It sounds like you knew what a nutcracker was.
Well, yeah, I do because Jennifer's not my wife's not Jewish.
Yeah. So I mean, did you learn it all since you got married, or even like growing up as a Jew?
How
much? I just wonder how much Christmas stuff non-Christians absorb from the general culture.
What I absorbed of Christmas early in my life, when my preschool years, I mean, K through kindergarten, first grade, second grade, third, is through school. School is where it was sort of taught as part of the classroom sort of celebration of Christmas, and everything came through there. Otherwise, at home, it was it definitely was all Hanukkah. Other than watching the Christmas shows, Charlie Brown Christmas.
Oh, you would still watch those.
Reindeer. Yeah, we would still watch those because there was 3 channels and there wasn't anything else to watch. So if you're going to watch television, that's what was on in the 70s.
Yeah,
basically. However, when it comes to Easter, I didn't I kid you not, I did not know until I was, I think, 16 years old.
She was 16 years old.
She was 16. I was 16 and I had no idea that freaking Easter was about the resurrection of Christ. I kid you not.
Yeah, just the Easter bunny. You just
no freaking idea. And I remember being gobsmacked when I was told, and I don't know why I didn't really look it up myself or didn't have kind of a curiosity about it. I don't know. It was a time of my life when at 13 I was bar mitzvahed and everything, and then I kind of really walked away from religion at that point. So I really wasn't interested in any religion from.
I bet you most Christians have no idea what Passover's about. right?
Yeah, that's that's
Or even
probably
Food.
true as
Hanukkah.
well.
Yeah.
Or Purim or anything else.
Yeah.
What's Purim? What?
If somebody's
No, that's a good
wondering-
question though.
If somebody's wondering, Bob, what about Halloween? I mean, I got this guy, this tree, which was a gift from Michael Whalen years ago, and I've got my evil Christmas stuff is hanging here. Here's an evil Nutcracker, and of course, that's an evil Santa. Where's Krampus? Oh, here's Krampus. Everybody loves Krampus.
Krampus.
All
So
right,
Ed,
I'm done. Well,
at your house, do you have like a mishmash of both holidays? How does it work?
So yeah, in our house, we until recently, in the last couple of years, we've done very minimalistic decorations, and that sort of pageantry
Yeah.
of it all. I've never been really much of a Christmas sort of celebrist, if that's a word.
Mhm.
It's such, and you know, I don't mean to be a downer for other people who absolutely love the season, and there's so many people who do. You know, people I work with absolutely, you know, so get into it in the decor, but I find it very just so materialistic and has nothing really to do with kind of what the Christmas is supposed to really be about in the religious sense. And I don't have any religious ties to anything, so I find it after having done it in the family for so many years and years, it just becomes an exercise of throwing up a bunch of things and then taking down a bunch of things, which don't really have a ton of meaning for me anyway. So my family, which is, you know, we're a small family of 3 and a pretty practical family, we've each year sort of gotten smaller and smaller with kind of the displays that we do. We put out a little menorah for Hanukkah, which is fine. Sometimes we do the candles, sometimes we don't. And there's usually maybe one small tree that goes up and a couple of things, but that's it. And I hate for, and I never judge anybody else for however they want to celebrate. You know, we have people down the road who light up their yard and the woods behind them, and it becomes, you know, and people drive
some people
around.
love it. I mean, I think whatever, if it's fun for you, great. To me, it's just all about family. That's the only thing that matters. Is just it's an opportunity, you know, now for me to see my daughters, but also to get together with, you know, brothers and nephews and nieces and stuff or whatever, and just to get together. There's good food. The gifts are they're secondary, but they're fine. You know, they're a part of just showing everybody that you're thinking about them. Decorations are just whatever your inclination is. Not really much pressure. But yeah, we like having holiday decorations up. It just gets us in the mood, you know, and it looks nice. But we don't go crazy. It's just we're pretty minimalist. We do put up a tree. We put up a tree when we're home for Christmas. Like if we're going to visit Jocelyn's mother for Christmas, we don't put up a tree that year because we're going to be away for, you know, a week.
Well, I love Christmas. I love the celebration of it. I love
Christmas coming in.
I mean, it has zero religion to me. There is virtually, it's just it's literally just a holiday. It's not a religious thing at all, of course. But I think
we celebrate Festivus.
Festivus.
And this year we're having our second annual Saturnalia party, right, Jay, at Jay's house.
Ooh.
That's right. Yeah, it's gonna be cool.
You gonna blow things up?
Get to wear a
Did they do that?
toga.
Did they do that?
Sure, why not? I think you have to set something on fire, or it's not Christmas. At least in my family.
Well, there's always a fire roaring somewhere on Christmas.
Yeah.
Well,
fireplace,
and
basement.
It's not, you know, what that
living
birth
room.
of Christ really didn't happen on the 25th of December, right?
So, I mean, I personally don't think
myth,
that that Jesus existed, but if you take the New Testament literally, he was born in the spring.
Right.
There's no controversy over the fact that December 25th was just, you know, aligning the new Christian holidays with the old pagan holidays. You know, that all of the Christmas traditions, like the Christmas tree and everything, those are all pagan traditions. They were just grafted onto Christianity. You know, it's just we're celebrating the return of light, you know.
Yeah.
You,
It's also-
you
yeah,
bring in
it's-
the evergreen boughs to pray to the evergreen gods that the spring will come. The budding, the green stuff will happen in the
Right.
spring. Kind of stuff.
Oh gods,
Yeah.
continue to send this earth around the sun in such a way that we get back to the spring season, right?
So, Steve, Christmas doesn't have any meaning to you. Of course, stripped out of the religion, like just the holiday and the tradition and all that, it has no meaning to you. You don't care about it.
I mean, just the only thing it means to me is just getting together with family. What else? What else is there for it to mean?
I love people.
You don't buy into the Christian stuff.
There is a feeling about Christmas.
Well,
There's
yeah.
a vibe, all of that stuff. I mean, I think that's the allure of the holiday to me. Like, it has its own feeling, and it seems like a special time of year.
I mean, the music, the shows. Liz and I watch. We just watched Christmas Vacation. We watch it every December. We've got a bunch of different movies and shows that we watch, and the music, and of course the family. That's a given. But the decoration. I mean, that's definitely a thing.
I remember one year. So I think it was my first year as a neurology resident. So I was on the ward service working my ass off. And I remember at one point in time, I'm like writing a note in the chart, and I had to look up the date just to make sure I got the date correct. And it was December 24th. And I'm like, holy fuck, tomorrow is Christmas. I had zero awareness of the holiday up to that point. Like, I hadn't bought a single gift, just nothing. Like, how could it possibly be Christmas Eve?
You mean the music that
it was just whatever. I mean, I obviously knew it was the season, but I'm just saying, I was so overwhelmed with work, I just had no real awareness of what was going on.
That's unreal.
Yeah,
I'm very tuned into date and time. I have a clock almost in every room of my house.
Yeah,
I don't know, not even really sure why, but it's very important to me to, at any point, be able to confirm what time it is on a day and always know what the calendar day is. That in my brain, for some reason, is of high importance. But I can't really pinpoint, perhaps, as to why. But I'm always aware of the date, and I'm always aware of the time.
You like being orientated?
Well, I suppose I like to know where I exist in both space and time at any given moment.
Yeah.
Oh, someone's asking if I wear a watch. No, but I did. Oh my gosh, I just ordered one on Cyber Monday. Because my I have two other watches, but they're both broken, and I'm like, well, they're kind of old too. So I did just buy a new watch, and I'll be wearing it in Arizona when the SGU, George Robb, go to Arizona in 2 weeks. So
yeah, that's right. Got those shows coming up, man.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, I wore a watch until I realized that I didn't need to, because I have my cell phone on me at all times, and that's my watch.
And that's what happens with a lot of people. But
I even wore one a little bit longer than I needed to, just for time, because as a physician, again, when I was like a resident, I needed a second hand so I could easily do like pulses and things like that. So it was just convenient. And I didn't want to have to like do it on the phone, just easier just to have it on the watch. But now I don't need to do that. So I just use my cell phone.
What are you guys doing this weekend?
Well, I'm going to be talking for the Australian Skeptical Conference tomorrow.
Oh yeah, that's right.
What time?
5:15 Eastern time. I think it's 9:15 in the morning Australia time. Canberra is where it is. And then Brian Dunning is speaking right after me. It's a half an hour. Going to be talking about our books, but mainly the first one. The title of the talk is "How to Know What's Really Real," and then my first slide is "Read this book."
The second slide is Q&A.
I'll wait. Then I give some highlights.
Cool. I'm glad you're doing that.
Yeah. And that slide is our second book.
I miss all of our friends in Australia. I mean,
I know
it's been a while.
We still feel
it's been a while.
Yeah, a little isolated. We haven't really been doing the 1 to 2 year hookup, with our friends around the world at a conference or another.
COVID screwed us,
Yeah.
Although, right, we were right up to the edge there. Had coming back from New Zealand, no, Australia, in December of 2019.
But we
Right
were
on the
in
cusp of it.
Seattle. We were in Seattle in January of 2020 when COVID was in Seattle.
Hit.
Yeah.
Yep. that's
COVID
where
was in Seattle, and we
Yep.
were in Seattle. None of us got it, so we didn't cross paths with it. But
Ooh.
yeah, we just really missed it. And then that was the last thing we did until, what was it, Denver, right? 2 years later.
Was Denver the first show?
Yeah. That one was delayed, I think, a year.
It was
Yeah, we
delayed.
Had to
because we did
reschedule Denver
virtual
3 times or
nexuses.
something.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, every once in a while, I will get this feeling like I miss the pre-pandemic time.
Yeah, the before time.
You know, because so much changed, and so many parameters have changed, and I have changed.
Mm-hmm.
Most definitely, like just the way I feel about things, doing things, getting together with people, my desire to go out, my desire to exercise, all of this stuff has changed.
Mm-hmm.
Gotta exercise.
So important.
But you can bake bread now, so that's cool.
There is that.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That.
Yeah, I definitely love that. I mean, I've come such a long way with this whole bread making thing, and I've learned so much. And it's did we talk about this? Like, there are so many.
I feel like we have.
Yeah. But I'm just
Yeah,
saying in
my whole
general,
time.
when you dig into anything, when you get interested in anything,
It's
Mhm.
so deep. Any stupid little topic,
yes, there's like
it's just a bottomless pit of information.
you
Isn't it
just
beautiful?
realize how little you actually know. We are
That's right.
literally
That's the point.
riding on like some social awareness, most of us, right?
Yeah.
Then you know your life, you know the people in your life, and then think about how little information you actually have.
hmm
Mhm.
And
We basically don't know shit
Yeah.
about anything.
And it makes you appreciate so much more the people who devote their lives, their whole careers to sometimes these very minute things,
Yeah.
right? The 40 years of studying whatever, X or Y or Z. And but that's because there is 40 years worth of research that you could do on that one
Right.
specific thing, which is why expertise, you can't replace it when it comes to certain things.
That's right.
It just can't. There is no substitute for it. You have to go to the experts.
Exactly. That's it's a lesson that I think all skeptics at some point, you kind of realize just how little you really
You
do
don't
know.
shit.
And it's
The amount of stuff I don't know. Oh my gosh.
it's
And
humbling.
the
It's
superficial
humbling.
stuff,
it's
the
infinite.
the knowledge about a topic that bubbles up to the surface, that you absorb from the culture is mostly wrong.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And that's the thing that really bugs me. It's like, not only do you not know much about a topic,
we're
probably
misinformed.
what you've absorbed from the culture is probably mostly wrong.
Yeah.
What we were taught.
Because
in
whenever you
school,
learn
a lot
the
of it
real
wrong.
information, it's like, whatever you thought you knew, but you have to first unlearn all the myths, and then you learn some of the real information.
Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, look, it's something that could easily frustrate and depress you, but at the same time, learning something new and getting into it and actually feeling like you know something, it feels good.
Yeah, but that's the good news, is that there's a steep learning curve initially. And so if you do get interested in something, you invest a little bit of time and effort, and you can get through that superficial cultural layer that's mostly wrong and learn some real knowledge. It's still very tiny amount compared to what's there, but at least it might be correct as far as it goes. And then you get some sense of the depth. So I'd like to get to that point with as many things as possible, where at least I've broken through like the superficial wrong stuff, and I have some sense of the depth of that field, even though I know enough to know that I don't know a whole lot about it.
It hits me every day. I listen to a few different news shows, like in the morning when I get up before I get my kids up, I'm listening, and then there's lots of these little pockets of time where I'm listening, and during the news, I'm saying to myself, my God, this can't be anywhere near the whole story.
Yeah.
Talking about the Ukraine war, like we don't know anything. We don't know anything. We're hearing the most superficial version of what's actually happening.
That's just we don't have access. We're getting a distilled version of it,
Right.
and the stuff that's actually happening behind closed doors, or like the people who are actually making the news. We have no idea what really goes on.
There is still stuff that is being revealed about World War II
Yeah.
that you're only
Yeah.
learning about in 2000 or 2010, and things that have been classified forever. You didn't know about this mission. You didn't know about this conflict that occurred. And there's still stuff that's going to be revealed. And we're, what is it, 70, 80 years ago?
Yeah.
It's remarkable. It's remarkable.
Remarkable.
Bob. That's why
Little
science is okay. I love that so
Little
much.
rascals. Yeah.
That's why science to me is such an island. It's like I trust science in a way that I don't trust most other information. Right. And I feel really good about science. I feel like the effort has been huge. It's a discipline that humans perform that I very much respect. And I very easily trust scientists way more than any other source, quote unquote, source of information.
Yeah, but it takes effort to know what scientists think about things. What the
And
current
even they
state of
get
knowledge
things
is.
wrong and
I
have
was-
to adjust.
I was listening to NPR, I think yesterday in the car. That's National Public Radio. As news shows go, pretty high quality. And they were interviewing somebody, some like Nobel laureate, the Peace Prize thing. So not a dumb person, and about her new book. And she made some comment about turning coal into a diamond.
Oh boy.
Mhm.
And she was
We've
using it
talked
as a metaphor for something. And again, I just reminded, because diamonds do not come from coal.
We talked
But,
about that.
Everybody thinks that. Everybody thinks that.
know.
And it was just thrown out casually in this
Superman.
conversation as something that's definitely true and everybody knows. And I'm like, yeah, that's just where we are. Like,
Imagine if life had a buzzer that went off every time someone stated something like that that's incorrect. Yeah. I mean, you'd have buzzers going off all day, all night, basically.
Right.
This
Background hum.
little red X pops up as well.
Yeah,
Well, we
I'm
kind
not-
of have that
handy.
with cell phones, with smartphones. I still, it's like it scares me to think about as complicated as it is now, and the loss of privacy and all that. But it is so nice being able to instantly look up stuff,
Oh, yeah.
and thinking about life before we had convenient, ready access to the internet. When things would come up, people would make claims, and then we would never be resolved. And you know what I mean?
Yes.
If you had the effort, like the next time you saw that person, you're like, look, I was right, or whatever. But like now, it's so nice when somebody says something. I'm like, here's the information. Here's the actual
My
information.
parents went away on a week's vacation.
And also when you get mad at people because it's like, wait, why? Look it up. What's your problem? Just look it up. Why are you why are you asking?
Mhm.
Why are you sending out these questions when you should do your due diligence and just Google the crap out of it first before making other people do it for you.
So diamonds come from carbon, but they are formed at deeper levels than coal exists, right? So they're not made from coal. They're a different geological strata entirely. Diamonds are very, very deep. They only come up to the surface through volcanoes, right? Otherwise, they're way too deep.
Or they're on other planets in the form of rain, right?
Yeah. Well, there are shock diamonds, so, but they tend to be small and poor qualities. Like if a meteor hits, for example.
Oh yeah.
It can create a lot of instantaneous diamonds, but they're crappy.
And tiny,
Yeah.
Yeah, they don't look good.
I think.
They don't look good, really. Like the quality is different.
I mean, yeah. I don't know. Do we have a picture of one? Let's see.
I just never heard about that. I knew that diamonds were made much deeper, and they weren't.
Yeah.
The whole cold, like Superman pressing a diamond into coal thing. I don't
Now,
know.
where are cubic zirconiums made? Where are those made?
Those are made at the North Pole.
By elves and Eskimos. Can you say Eskimo? Sorry.
So, Steve, I wanted to tell you that.
Yeah.
So I'm running a 1-day role play game tomorrow,
Mm-hmm.
and I used Midjourney my goal was use Midjourney 100% for everything that I show
Yeah.
the people that are playing the game.
All the visual aids.
Holy shit, Steve! It worked so well. I can't believe it.
That's awesome. That's what I said. That's a great tool for gamers.
Absolutely. The game industry will latch on to that, no doubt about it.
Just ridiculous, some of the imagery I got out of it. Like without even that much of a prompt. Like the version 4 of Midjourney is a lot better. It's way more powerful.
Yeah.
Yep.
I did not use Midjourney for the maps. I tried and it did not make maps. I couldn't get it.
Really?
I couldn't figure out how to get it to make a map.
Really?
But
Yeah.
if you could probably, a programmer could probably make a map generating, application that uses a Midjourney like engine. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That would be nice. Make me a dungeon crawl map, for D&D with these parameters or whatever, and then it just does it. Creates a bunch of them. You pick the one you want.
Yeah.
That'd be awesome. On a completely unrelated note, so I was talking with Jay today because we were going to do. Jay was thinking of doing a BBZ next Friday, which is not going to happen. But because the studio's in my basement, so I'm like, Jay, we can't do it next Friday because there's going to be a radioactive cat walking around my house.
Yeah, so explain this in more detail now, Steve, because I still don't get it.
Is that a prediction? Are you making a?
No, there will be a radioactive cat walking around my house next week.
What kind of radioactivity?
What kind of cat?
My black cat Midnight has
Okay.
thyroid disease. He's hyperthyroid, and we tried giving him medication, didn't work. He actually got cytopenic from the medication. We had to stop it. And then, so now we have him on just beta blockers, just so he's not like so hyperthyroid he's going to drop over, fall over dead.
Oh, geez.
And which is not fun, by the way, tracking down a cat and shoving a pill down his mouth every day.
Yeah, that's no good.
So
no good, man.
They have a treatment that's literally called Radio Cat, and they inject the cat with radioactive isotopes. I think it's radioactive iodine. It concentrates in the thyroid, and it just fries their thyroid and cures their hyperthyroidism. So he's going to get injected next week. I think he's going to get injected on Tuesday. They keep him in the clinic for 3 days because there's a half-life, right? So he can't be in the house for the first few days until his radioactivity level goes down low enough.
It's like Schrödinger's.
Yeah, but Steve, the question is, does a cat have 18 half-lives?
So then,
good one, Bob.
Then we can bring him home, but we can't be near him more than like 30 minutes a day.
Yeah.
Are you kidding?
No.
Holy crap.
So
So
does
it's like
that
you
mean
You can drop the food off and then leave. Like you got to keep him in a separate room. Like
You
at
mean
one
it would
end
be
of the
like being
house.
exposed to an X-ray or something,
Yeah.
right? If you were
He's radioactive.
Ionizing
the-
radiation.
That's
The other
crazy.
cat can hang out with him. Apparently, he's not going to get that much of a dose, so it's going to bother him. So we're going away for the weekend. We're just going to leave food down. We have somebody will pop in and check on him, but the house is going to be radioactive, basically. So yeah, so no BBC in the studio next Friday for that. But apparently it has like a 95% success rate in just curing them outright. Like it just cures their hyperthyroidism, then they're fine.
well. If you don't mind me getting to the calendar point, therefore no live stream next week, or
Well, I won't be here.
you won't be there. No.
Yeah.
Because the Friday after that, we're going to be in Arizona. So
Yeah,
that's
we're
not
gone,
gonna
so.
happen.
I
And
think
the
this is
fir-
probably going to be the last one.
Last
until
one for
after
the year.
holidays. Yeah, this is the last.
This
one for
is
the
it.
year.
This is
Yeah.
probably it until
Get out
2023.
of my face.
What'd
Yeah.
you say, Bob?
Gee whiz.
Cat's butt was in my face.
Yeah, cats will do that,
That means that they trust you. Well, from what I've read, I don't know how true that is, but when a cat bears his behind to you, that's like a sign of trust,
Right.
from what they say.
And people too, probably
Mhm.
to some degree.
Jay's got to go at 6, right?
Say again?
We better
Jay, you
do
have
it
to
You
go
have a
at
heart out at
6.
6, Jay?
Yeah, let's do your puzzle now.
Yes, let's play Jeopardy.
Is there a quiz or no?
No
No.
quiz.
Jeopardy.
We're doing Jeopardy.
Jeopardy.
Oh, we're doing Jeopardy. All right, let's do it.
We're doing the Jeopardy.
Boom.
All right. So let's
Here we
see
go.
what we got here. I got to get my controller up here. So what I have is I'll be running Jeopardy, as you know. And I have 4 categories for you guys today. And it's, again, I pulled these based on the Jeopardy trivia that we play when we do our board game podcast, Which Came First, on Monday nights. And this particular game was called Art Deco. So I base the categories usually based on the title of the game that we're playing. So we have 4 categories.
boy.
Art, okay,
And
deco, which is in quotes, okay. And then what that means is that the answer will contain those words, DECO, okay.
Those 4 letters in that order.
Those 4 letters in that order will be part of every answer that you have to give, okay. Third category is deck, and the fourth one is randomness. So we will feel free to play at home, keep your own score, and of course the 4 contestants are Steve, Jay, Bob, and Ian. So good luck to you all. I'm gonna randomly choose Bob to take the first category. Go for it, Bob.
Deck for 400.
Deck for 400.
Skipping it.
The number of cards in a pinochle deck.
Pinochle?
Um,
What is it? 64.
Incorrect for Ian.
Damn it. Just guessed.
Isn't that the one with like the 4 of all of the face cards?
I think it doesn't have like 8s and anything below. I
Yeah,
think it's 9s, 10s.
Stop reading chat.
Face
Stop reading
cards.
chat. Stop reading chat.
Yeah.
I don't know the answer. I know I
What
don't know
is
this.
it is 48?
48.
Steve is correct. He answered first.
48. Wow. Okay.
Yep. All right, Steve, you got the board.
I'll do artery for 200.
Art for 200? I'm sorry, I didn't hear you, Steve. Was it art
Yes,
for 200?
art for 200.
He was a painter, a sculptor, an architect, and an engineer.
Who is Leonardo da Vinci?
That is correct. Leonardo da Vinci. Well done, Steve.
Art. Oh.
You control the board.
400. Art for 400.
The name of the art movement popularized by Salvador Dali.
What is surrealism?
Oh, damn it. Yes.
Weird shit.
Surrealism. That is correct. Steve is knocking the art world on its ear.
Art for 600.
Valerie Solanas shot him 3 times in the chest.
What? No idea.
I've never heard that name before in my life.
Yeah.
It was
Bam,
that
bam, Anyone?
what's his name?
The guy or the gal?
Aaron Burr.
All right, yeah. That's an excellent guess, Ian.
As a matter of
only
fact, I
person
don't know
I got
anybody
shot.
who got shot 3 times in the chest.
PNW Tree
Good
Hugger
extent.
was first correct. I'm seeing in the chat. Andy Warhol.
Andy Warhol. What?
Andy Warhol. Yep.
Did he die?
He
Did he
didn't die
survive?
from that though, right?
No, he did not die from that.
He
Man,
died
man.
from like appendicitis or something. Like something stupid.
I
wearing-
don't recall what he died.
He was
from,
wearing a
but-
big
Only
soup
20
can, so it
times in a row.
kept him from.
Steve, you still control this board.
800.
His works include Girl Before a Mirror and The Weeping Woman. Oh, the woman is weeping in the art
This
world.
is totally wrong, but
weeping.
Monet. I don't care. I'm just
It
gonna
is
guess
not
random.
Monet,
Yeah,
no.
it's not. It's like I knew it. He did water
Let's wait and
lilies
see if
shit.
anyone from the
Rembrandt.
Vermeer knows Picasso. Yeah,
Somebody say Picasso?
I
No,
said
he's-
Picasso.
Picasso. You
Oh,
did, Bob? I
Picasso.
didn't hear you.
Hey, there's a missing S, isn't there?
Is there?
It's Picasso. I
Yeah.
don't know.
Oh, yes. Sorry. Typo on my part. Therefore, Bob,
Right,
did you
so
really
let's
guess
go
that?
with-
Because I'll let you control the board at this point.
Randomness for 400, as you should.
Right. The best-selling music album of all time.
What is Thriller?
Yes, that is correct.
Is it really?
Thriller. Thriller. Jay, I
that
thought
was
you'd
a
jump
big-
all over that
Yeah.
one.
I knew it, but Steve like literally his brain reacted.
Jumped
like-
all over your
yes.
action.
I will finish up art for 1,000.
Art for 1,000. The primary visual element in Impressionist paintings.
White.
Paint.
Jay, not quite. Bob, no. Well,
Splatter, splotches,
Empty space.
dots.
no. Thinking a little too hard there.
Splooge.
It's not
Splodge.
negative space.
No, it's not negative space.
No,
Oh my
it's
God.
It is.
blurriness,
No,
Blob.
not blurry.
pixelation.
Visto tutti is correct. Color. And he spelled it with a U as well.
Oh,
So I'll give him credit for that. Well done.
Extra points.
He's dead. All right, Steve, you control.
200 randomness for 200.
3.78541 liters.
One gallon.
Yes, Jay.
Yes,
Very
gallon.
good.
Right.
Nice, Jay.
It's a
No,
gallon.
it's not even that.
Jay, now it's all you.
Okay, I'll take randomness for 600.
The minimal safe internal cooking temperature
165.
for chicken.
150.
Oh, Jay, all over it.
Damn,
165 Fahrenheit. I'll give that to you. Well done. Next.
Randomness for 800. I'm doing great.
It's random.
Capital city of Saskatchewan.
Just
Gotcha.
Saskatchewan.
Son of a
Mordor.
bitch. I just learned more about Saskatchewan recently.
I'll say Saskatchewan.
No,
That's what I said.
Saskatchewan City, right? No.
Saskatchewan.
Saskatchewan City.
NHRA stock says Regina, which is correct.
Regina.
Regina.
Sure.
Not common. I didn't know that until I looked it up.
Regina.
Jay, you control the board.
Let's finish it up for 1,000. For 1,000, Trebek.
The currency of Hungary used between 1946 and
US dollar.
2001. Good luck on this one.
The U.S. dollar, no?
I always throw one in of the 20 questions like that is like nearly impossible to answer. I want to see if anyone
The
from the
crew-
chat.
What
Crew-
is?
Kroner. Kroger.
Yeah, the
Kroger.
Kroner.
I know.
Oh,
I know.
that's Swedish.
I
Yeah.
know. but
I
they
know
my
might
gosh,
also
it's-
know.
It's Quatlu.
Odysseus. What do you got, Bob?
Quatlu.
The Quatlu. Oh, good, great guess.
Odysseus says Florent.
The Florent, and let's see what it is. It is the I have
Florent.
Florent, but it could be Florent, and it could just be another typo on my part. So congratulations to Odysseus Galanis for getting that one correct.
That's a cool word. Florent.
Jay, you still control the board.
All right, let's do Deco for 200.
Something used to lure or lead another into a trap.
Um,
And remember,
it has to have Deco in it.
it
What is
will
a
contain-
decoy?
Yes. Steve,
Very good,
decoy.
Steve.
Very good.
Mhm.
Smart bastard.
All right,
You
Deco
go,
for
Steve.
400.
To recognize and interpret.
What is decode?
Oh,
Mhm.
Yes, decode.
I was going to say deconstruct.
Art.
600.
600.
To confer a medal.
Decorate. What is
Decorate.
decorate?
Yeah, right. I said it.
Ian, did you say
That's
it
fine.
first?
You can give it to Steve.
No, Ian got
Give
it.
it to Ian.
wait a
Give it to
second.
Ian.
All right,
I
fine.
said it. I
I'll
don't
take
know
a
about
pity.
Ian. I said it well before Steve.
All right.
It's
Give
going to Ian.
I'll take it to me. 800.
Ian.
It's fine. Just go 800.
Eliminate the interrelationship.
Decohere.
Mhm.
Oh, I'm
Decouple.
sorry. I pressed it.
Oh, that's a
Decouple.
good one. That was
But,
tricky.
I
Yeah,
think
it's
someone else got that right.
Decovorce.
And Ian, you control.
1,000. Just go up.
To take apart or examine.
What is deconstruct?
Construct.
Deconstruct. Very good. All right, we're at the deck category.
Deck for
Steve.
200. No,
I'm sorry, Bob.
no.
Did you get it?
Deck
Who
for
got that
200.
right? I lost track.
I won that last one.
I think
Yeah,
I
you
did.
got it.
Yeah.
Deck
Bob.
for
200.
He didn't say what is, so I technically won. But go ahead, Jay.
Ooh,
No,
got it.
we've long set the precedent that that's not required. Deck for 200.
Yeah, if we were playing like a game for money or something, maybe we'd
All right.
be
Yeah,
firm with
go
those.
ahead,
Bob, what do you
200.
want? Deck for 200?
200.
They form layers at certain altitudes.
Clouds.
No,
I'll
but,
give it to Jay. Cloud deck.
oh, cloud
Yes.
deck.
But yes, I'll give it to him. Jay,
I'll take deck for 600, please.
Oh, interesting.
RCA and Bell Sound attempted to commercialize these as early as 1958.
What is this sound deck?
Not
Audio
exactly
deck?
correct.
Audio deck?
Not quite correct. Oh, close. Sort of.
Disc deck. Deck man. Deck hand. Deck. Tape deck.
Oh, tape deck.
Tape deck, Ian.
Tape deck.
Correct.
Good job, Ian. It was right there. I mean, it was so obvious.
All right, Ian, you have many choices in front of you.
What will he do?
I want to go with 800.
The largest manufacturer of playing cards in the world.
Ooh.
Bicycle.
Excellent guess, and that was
Oh.
my guess too, but no, it's actually not correct.
Does it have to have the word deck in it?
The largest
No.
manufacturer.
No, this one's not in quotes, so it did not have to have the word. We have Royal, Hasbro, no. U.S. Playing Cards, Bill Smith. That is
I was gonna say
correct. It is the
Nintendo.
United States Playing Card Company. They are
hell?
it.
Didn't Nintendo start with playing cards? Anyway, go ahead.
Yeah,
may
one
have.
of them did, I think.
with games.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Final Jeopardy, used by a vessel's commanding superiors to observe the work and navigational proceedings.
What is
Poop
the
deck.
flight deck?
Ian is correct. It's the poop deck.
It is the
Poop
poop deck.
Yeah,
Yes.
well done.
Nice.
How cool is
Well
it that
done,
we
yeah.
live in a world where the word poop deck exists? You know?
And I mean, it was funny as a kid, and I don't know, it's kind of still funny as an adult in a way. But yeah, it's a real.
Somebody
it is a
in
thing.
Somebody in the chat literally said the deck. That was the answer.
Mhm.
So thanks for playing Jeopardy again this week, everyone. And
growing,
I'll look
great
forward in
guys.
2023 to providing more. I've got a whole year's worth of backlog of these things, so they are readily
Shall we
available.
do some questions?
Questions?
let's do it.
Yeah.
Yes, let me pull up the Discord. The Discord. If anybody wanted to ask questions, go ahead and go into the Discord. There's a channel, of course, named Livestream Questions, and mods are going to pick some questions. Slightly lighthearted, have they ever talked about the cilantro gene? I want to know if any of them have it in terms of it tasting like soap, presumably.
We have talked about it, and we've talked about it in the broader context of being a super taster. If I recall, there's like 7 identified super taster traits. Kara and I think, have a bunch of them. I have the cilantro one a little bit. Our mother has it really bad. Our mother cannot
Mm.
tolerate the slightest amount of cilantro.
Even the smell of
Whereas-
cilantro.
What's that?
What about the smell? Is that
Yeah,
it-
so
it's
she
all-
just hates it.
no matter
Yeah.
what, right? Okay.
Yeah. So for me, it's like I don't love it. If there's a tiny bit in something, it doesn't destroy it for me. But I would never add it to,
Mm.
like when you go to like whatever those fast food Mexican places, you can make your own bowl. I never have them put cilantro on, but if the little piece got in there, it wouldn't destroy it for me. But for my mother, it would. Like there would be, she couldn't. She definitely has the cilantro gene.
So it's a real thing.
Totally. It basically tastes medicine-y. Some people say like soap, whatever, but there's a chemical flavor to it that just you can either you're sensitive to or you're not sensitive to.
Yep.
Okay. That's something that can be crispered away.
Probably it's genetic. It's it may not be a single gene. I don't know, but it's the one that's like the most Mendelian. Is the what do you call it?
What does that mean, Steve?
Mendelian means it's like it's 100% dominant or recessive. It's not a polygenetic. It's one gene, one trait.
Mm-hmm.
Like the peas, remember the pea, like the wrinkled peas or the smooth peas. But the quinine is definitely like a single gene Mendelian trait. You get it or you don't get it. You drink tonic water, it tastes fine, or you want to throw up. Like those are your 2 options. I'm definitely in the throw up category. So my wife we could do it in our family because my wife can drink tonic water. I can't. One of our children can. One of our children can't. You could see where who got the genes from.
Mm-hmm. That's annoying.
Yeah. Do you guys, Bob and Jay, can you drink tonic water?
I can drink tonic water, no problem. I mean, the
Yes,
only
you
thing
don't have genes.
Not
I-
a problem. I
Kind of
never
gross,
do.
though.
I cannot drink IPA beer. I don't know
Mhm.
if any of you guys, I know Steve, you haven't tried it, but any of you guys, like IPA beer, anything that isn't IPA to me tastes profoundly bitter. I think more bitter than it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
Because it tastes so bitter to me, like I can't stand it.
Mm-hmm.
And I know that bitterness is a part of the flavor profile. But whatever. I can't drink that shit.
Mm-hmm.
Next question.
Yeah.
I'm curious if they've watched Mad God, the 2021 stop-motion experimental horror film made by Phil Tippett, filmed over a period of 30 years. And if
Wow.
No,
No,
Mad
but now I'm
what?
intrigued.
Mad
No,
God.
I want to hear about it.
Mad God. We'll look it up and we'll report
Yeah.
back.
Maybe by
30
next time.
years. Wow, 30 years.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
I once read on a tangent to that, and this was years ago. I have no idea if it's a couple years ago. No idea if it was really true, and I may have a bad memory on this. But the world record for the longest movie
Yes.
that was produced took a month to watch.
Nuts. Yeah.
Like
Wow.
28 days it takes to watch the movie, and it's not like part 1, part 2. It's like the movie. It would take 28 straight days to watch, and they said the trailer for it was 4.5 hours.
Who the hell
stuck in
edited
my
that
mind
shit?
as like
Why would-
just being hilarious.
why would you even watch a 4.5 hour
Danish
trailer?
film or something like that? I have no idea. I'll have to look.
So
I'll have
just
to look.
left
it
the
up
camera rolling
again.
for a month.
Imagine you watch
Hilarious.
you watch it for 4 hours and you're like, oh, that looks like shit. I'm not going to watch that movie.
Let me see if I can find it. Yeah, but
Yeah,
go
right.
ahead and still with
Oh
the
my God.
questions.
There was a movie where they filmed it over like 30 years, and it was following the same cast of characters over that period of time.
Interesting.
I forget what it was called. That came out a few years ago.
Okay,
That's
let me go
commitment.
back to some of the early
yeah.
ones. Yeah, that's true. Hopefully they got residuals or paid at all. Did Evan finish his segment about cheating and tap dancing from episode 902 sometime later? If not, can he finish it now?
Segment from cheating and tap
Yeah,
dancing.
might be Boyhood.
Oh
yeah.
yeah. I'm sorry. I'm not prepared with that. And you're right. I remember because we talked about this is when we were talking about the chess cheating scandal, but we also talked about the fishermen that were caught that were also cheating, and I had mentioned the tap dancing
Weights and fish.
scandal as well. And in the context, it was like all this news sort of in the same day hit about all this cheating in these sports and these competitions and stuff. And if I recall, the news segment got we ran out of time. I basically couldn't get to the part about the tap dancing. But we brought up the chess again and the fish. So I will make a
We'll
note.
do it on a later show.
Yeah, I'll make a note to make sure that I get back to that, the tap dancing scandal. Thank you for the reminder.
From Skeptibarian, I've noticed lately that my ability to focus seems lower than it used to be. Is that known to be age-related? Any ways to combat it?
Your ability to focus on things?
Yeah,
Join
You mean
the
like
club.
visually or mentally?
that is a good question. Skeptibarian, is it? I think
I bet
it's
you-
mentally.
I bet you she
but-
means mentally, yeah.
Because
Yeah,
the
That's
ability to
culture.
focus visually is absolutely an age-related thing. It's called presbyopia. Your lens gets stiff and you can't focus. It sucks. Your ability to focus mentally, I mean,
That's culture.
don't want to
that's-
make any diagnoses
your
online, but
cell
there's
phone.
a lot of
Yeah, she said mentally.
details, you know, that I would need to know to offer an opinion about that. But yeah, I mean, things like that can alter as we get older. But you know, if it's something that's happening rapidly or is affecting your ability to function, then you should probably talk to your doctor about it. Because there are lots of treatable things that could affect that too, like low B12 or whatever. You don't want to assume it's just age.
Is that focus? I mean, but that could be like attention span.
Yeah.
You know, that's just part of. I think it's part of just our culture. And,
What'd you say, Bob? I'm sorry.
And cell phones
Mm,
and just the way it's like the way when you see a movie that was made decades ago, the way editing seems so slow and
oh yeah.
plotting. It's just like we kind of like not evolving, but we're like training ourselves to want instant stimulation, instant gratification all the time. So I think that's the cultural thing.
But it's way more complicated than that. Like we talked about the movie thing. It's not just that the short scene length is mainly due to the fact that the communication between a director and the audience is getting more efficient. So as the audiences are evolving, the directing is evolving, and just that communication is getting way more efficient. So if you go back 50 years, we're impatient because it's very inefficient, slow communication. It's not just that our attention span is slower. It's that we're plodding through something that's not really well made by our current standards.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, but it's still. I mean, it's still related to our attention span. We just don't want to focus on that.
It's just not true, Bob. What you're saying is just not true. The ability to focus is a neurological function. And it's not something that gets trained out of you by culture. It isn't. That's just your processing power of your frontal lobes. And if it was tested in you, it would not be changing over time because of your cell phones. That's just not happening.
or anything in the culture, or just the way we have information.
Yeah, that's a brain function. It's a brain function. You're talking about like patience and things like that, not your ability to focus. Ability to focus is a neurological function. It is not, a cultural thing.
Right. That's why I said attention span. I was wondering if it was connected to attention span and not necessarily focus. I could see how focus is more of like a medical thing, whereas attention span to me is not necessarily a medical thing. It's just
Well, it depends on how people. She used the term focus. I don't know what Again, the thing is, you can't take what people colloquially say and assume they mean one specific technical definition.
Well, I was just throwing it out
when
there.
somebody says things like that,
Throwing it out there that maybe she means attention span. I was just going down that path.
Yeah. Right.
Just saying, Steve.
Yeah.
Just saying.
I have an update.
Uh-oh.
Thank you, Rhett, Discord. Obviously a patron. Thank you so much for chatting in here. Rhett provided us with the film. It's called Logistics, a 2012 Swedish experimental film conceived and created, sorry for the dogs, created by Erika Magnusson and Daniel Anderson. 51,420 minutes. That is 857 hours, or 35 days and 17 hours, the longest film ever made. And so it was Swedish, not Danish. And I said 28 days. It was actually 35 days. So my memory wasn't totally screwed up.
Yeah,
I'm not trying to be a jerk here.
You got the gist.
I'm not trying to be a jerk, but that movie cannot be good.
Well, I mean, it's hard to imagine that it's worth it. I mean, there may be things about it that are good. It may be a good film, but I can't imagine investing 35 days of time watching.
How long is the MCU
movie.
though? Like, if you put them back to back, how many days would the MCU take?
Probably just a few.
You think?
Yeah.
20.
I mean, I could see like
24.
watching an hour a week or something for a while, or an hour a night for a few days a week.
Like
That's
a
basically
TV
all
Like
show
watching
almost.
a series, like binging a few hours at a time. But I wonder if it holds up like that or not.
It was an experimental film.
Great.
So-
I wonder if it's on Netflix. Yeah. I doubt
Experiment?
it.
Yeah,
Sure.
Netflix. 57 episodes.
Rhett also from the Discord. How have the book sales for the Skeptic's Guide to the Future been going?
We don't know. We won't know for a while. We'll get our first report next year sometime. Apparently it's fine, but we don't have numbers. We won't have numbers for a long time.
Usually like we're months behind in knowing where things are at.
Yeah, like 6 months.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I mean, a bookstore could have the book, but it's not sold it. I mean, or you just won't know, for a while, and it's frustrating.
Yeah, there's two components to it. There's book sales and book returns, right?
Yeah.
So like a bookstore can order 100 copies. That's 100 sales.
Yeah.
But then if they return 50 of them, then that gets subtracted from the sales. And
Are people allowed to,
yeah,
That's why you gotta
bookstores will
sign-
return unsold books, and then
Are people allowed to return audiobooks?
Because you can't
I
return.
have
signed
no
book.
idea. But if you sign the book, they can't return it.
take
That's
it out
why a
of your-
signed book is a sold
What I
book.
just said.
Hey, Bob,
Yeah.
can an audiobook be returned?
Yeah,
It can be. You
An
can be
Audible.
refunded
in Audible, there's that option.
with like
Never
7
done-
days or something.
never done
Yeah,
it.
you can.
I don't know any more details, but I've never done it. But it's
You've never
it's
done it.
the
Yeah.
option.
I would say it's probably rare.
This is a good question. Did Jay sign the book he found in the airport?
Didn't
Next
even
time.
occur to me. Didn't even occur to me. I was just really, we're walking through the bookstore to find my son a book, and I wasn't even looking, and I saw the spine of our book like it was going.
Yeah,
you know what I
yeah.
mean? Like, because it's so
It catches your
recognizable.
eye, yeah.
So I'm like, holy shit, the book's here, right? So then I go over and I tell my wife, I'm like, I just saw a copy of the book here. And as we're walking out, she tells the lady, my husband wrote that. I was like, I'm out of here. I totally don't want anything to do with that. I don't want to be like, oh yeah, that's my book in your bookstore. It's like such a dick thing to do. So I just walked
It's so
out.
funny how other people are willing to embarrass you on your behalf. You know what I mean? Like you would do something like that for somebody else, but never yourself.
Totally.
But
Yeah.
then
I would
it
totally.
doesn't occur to you that that's the other person wouldn't want that to be done on their behalf either.
I don't
True.
think you in the moment, like, you know, if I was in a bookstore with my friend Brian, who just published a book, and his book was there, I would have done exactly the same thing my wife did.
Yeah,
'Cause
my
it's-
friend published this book.
Yeah, because you're proud of them, whatever.
Yeah.
You know,
Right. I guess it's more socially acceptable to be proud of somebody else than of yourself.
yeah.
I guess is what it comes down to.
Yep.
Next
All right,
question.
it's after 6,
Well,
Jay.
that's
Why
true.
don't we do one more question and then one
And
more
we'll call it a
question
night.
This
for
one
the
might be
year.
a
We'll call
big
it a
one,
year.
so if
Call
it
it a
sounds
year.
too big, we can table it. Has Steve looked into Neuralink's latest?
I've been
table that.
following Neuralinks. I know there's a latest, but I haven't looked into it yet.
Okay, so we'll table
So
that
we'll
for
have
now.
to give
Imagine
a
that'll come up.
report at some later time.
Last quick question: what new games do you like for casual family gaming, specifically, Evan? Or but anybody? Christmas
new
presents
games.
they're looking for.
Oh gosh, what the heck did we just play that was super good? It was the game. Hold on one second. There is a game out there. Oh, it was Dice Theme Park was very good. We liked Dice Theme Park, and that's kind of a relatively new game. So definitely check that one out. And there was also a game called Rise, RISE, which you should check out as well. So I recommend those.
I'm liking Munchkins as a family game, and there's a lot of different.
Oh yeah, Munchkin. Steve Jackson's games are good.
expansions. Yeah.
Yeah.
Munchkin,
I want to do a
Cthulhu,
skeptical Munchkins expansion.
Zombie one, the superhero one's good.
My
Yeah.
son and I play Minecraft Dungeon.
Minecraft Dungeon.
Yeah, and that's a ton of fun.
All right, everyone.
Bye, everybody. Have a great
Have a good-
holiday.
Happy
If we
New
don't
Year.
see you.
Happy holidays.
Yeah, happy everything.
Thank you, Ian.
All
We
right.
will resume
Thank you,
these
Ian.
in the new year.
We'll do it again.
New.
2023.
Bye-bye.
Hope to
And
see a
come
lot
to
of you in
Arizona.
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 Thank you all.
All right, that's it. Go
Bye,
ahead.
Good night,
everybody.
everyone.
Bye, guys.
Thanks, Ian. Skeptic's Guide to the Universe is produced by SGU Productions, dedicated to promoting science and critical thinking. For more information, visit us at theskepticsguide.org. Send your questions to info@theskepticsguide.org. And if you would like to support the show and all the work that we do, go to patreon.com/skepticsguide and consider becoming a patron and becoming part of the SGU community. Our listeners and supporters are what make SGU possible.
Hello.
Oh,
it was
hey. It's just
Elon again calling about.
So Jay actually did go. Obviously,
Yeah, he did.
because he's not here. You know, sometimes he surprises us and sticks around, but he obviously did have to go. That was a 6 o'clock out for him. But we are still here. Ian and I are going to close out 2022 with all of you fine folks by I think just kind of saying thank you for everything. Your support's been really, really tremendous. We love that you continue to tune into us on a regular basis and give us your feedback. Apologize for my dogs, but dogs happen. And it's really, these are great. These are great fun, making this now part of sort of the SGU slate of products, if you want to call it that,
SGU lore
that we offer. So,
yeah.
And let's, we always
canon.
hope the next year is going to be better than any prior year. Not that this was a terrible year, but in any specific way. But it was really good. Oh, here come the watermelon pictures and other things, Ian. So they're showing the love, showing the watermelon.
Oh, thank you very much. Appreciate it.
If anyone is still on who's still interested in the board game idea, there's another game I thought of while we were transitioning to the post extreme show here. It's called Micro Macro City. Let me get the exact wording of that. Micro Macro Crime City. It's a cooperative game in which you basically like are detectives trying to figure out crime scenes. But what's fascinating, and this game is so good, it plays out on a map. Okay, it is a map that unfolds on a sheet of paper that's about literally 8 feet long by 6 feet high. You almost have to like tape it to a wall in order for everyone to play. And it's a city, and there's all these scenarios that are playing out in which you get clues and things, and you have to find certain things in the map and find characters and determine where it is they're going to go, what might be happening, what they're going to do. Describing it really doesn't express how much fun that game was. Because when we're going to have a review show in January, we always do each year. We do our best and worst games of the year, and that one is definitely I'm putting in for best game of the year. There it is. Thank you, Noisy Nick, putting it in the chat and Discord. Micro Macro Crime City. I cannot recommend that game highly enough. That is like the best game I've played, definitely in 2022. So it was awesome. Oh, and I think the new version is out. They were supposed to have another version, second version. I don't recall if it got released yet. I know we haven't reviewed it yet. But oh my gosh, so good, so much fun. Great for family, great for parties. Just really a wonderful, brilliant game, and you will not be disappointed in that game. Ian, you got anything else you want to chit chat about?
No, just pay your bills on time, and don't take out too much credit, and then hug people, and then buy and send watermelons to one another. I don't work for Big Watermelon, but I do have a discount code. That's about it. Yeah, it's good.
And
thanks for being here, everybody.
Yeah, definitely. And 'tis the season. Even though my own, despite what I might feel about the season and stuff, and the fact that I kind of downplay things, I really hope everyone enjoys their holidays, with their families and anything and everything that they like doing and want to do. And I just wish you so much of that and more. And we look forward to more Skeptics Guide goodness in 2023. Thanks, everyone. Ian, see you in Arizona.
See you
All
sometime.
Right. Bye, guys.
Bye. Waving. I gotta hit the thing. Oh wait, I just hit end. Okay.
Oh wait.
It's ending.
Oh, that's the end then.